Hello guys, long time no see. Yeah, I've been uh, preoccupied with my civil life and been not off the games but off recording any games. But I think uh, I still like to show you one game from this stage 7 of the Worlds. Mm, so it's the semifinal stage. There's in my group there's Marta and Bashir and Palino and Plunderteig and me. And at this point, well, yeah, it's already finished, but I won't spoil the result. Mm, yeah, after 4 player games, I did not do well in those, but I was able to perform in 3 player games in such a way that uh, I had the possibility to advance to finals, and in actuality, all 4 players had theoretical chances at least to advance, and so these 2 player games had very big impact on who's gonna advance. And about Plunderteig, yeah, he's a new player in that sense, at least a new alias. Yeah, his SandHippo, his other or former alias was SandHippo, so very strong 2 player game, 2 player in 2 player games, one of the best. Uh, I don't remember. I think he was in the finals of a former edition of World Champs when it was only heads-up games. I think he beat Weidenbaum 3-0 in semi-final stage, and yeah, he's just a beast in 2 player games. Doesn't appear to make many mistakes. Sometimes makes plays that maybe look strange, but they just work. Very efficient in his actions, and yeah, I was looking forward to this game. Yeah, it's the toughest challenge uh, possible, I think. So yeah, it was. I mean, any result other than complete whitewash, losing or loss was favorable, or I would have taken any result north of that. But yeah, it is a very important game for this stage. And yeah, let's take a look. First of all, there's the leaders and wonders. There's Hammurabi and some other nice leaders in HA. There's no Suez, so Sansu has not that support, but there's Columbus for him, and also yeah, H1 has some overall general nice leaders: Saladin, Nostradamus, and Joan of Arc. Then there's the culture guys: Darwin and Bach, but no Shakespeare. Napoleon for some counterplays, but no ocean liner. And then there's actually Gandhi in H3. There's Gates, but not the best, maybe. There's no space flight. And then there's Marlene. So yeah, culture strategies could work. So let's see how this goes. I'm in the first seat. And yep, there's Acropolis on 2, so very likely will be picked up by yeah, I'm gonna say SandHippo. It's just easier, or Hippo. So yeah, I just didn't want to take a leader just to get Hammurabi, and just EG. It's just the best card out of those. and as expected, since there's Bach and Marlene and so on, Acro is quite strong. So as expected, it will be taken, but it also means that Hammurabi will be available for one. Yeah, I think he was not necessarily. Had he taken maybe Sansu stockpile, it would have, yeah. But yeah, Hammurabi will be available for one, so that's definitely not bad. So I don't think there's any other. Any other way to play it other than taking Hammurabi? Election, normal stuff, and Roman roads. Yeah, I don't think there's any debate on that zone. Roman roads takes many steps, but with Hammurabi you can afford it, and it's just a clean turn. And with the EG I can already finish next turn. Draw uncenter borders might be unseatable. So Plunderteig, SandHippo goes for the Boudica play. Well, she is available for one. And just goes for the normal stuff. For me, very notably, there's what I was eyeing was the Universitas. So I was anyway finishing the Roman roads here. So I just wanted to finish it anyway, but I was heavily eyeing the Universitas as a follow-up on the. So you can go for that. And then there's one more action. I think just popping is fine. With the extra yellow, I'm not in consumption, and none of those cards are really that great. Hippo then goes for the lab. And yeah, it's maybe a bit unlucky for him that the EG is coming down, and it's always coming to 2 CA range, and Uni is falling down to 1 CA range. So it goes for a very pricey denial maybe. Now, of course he can use it himself even with the Acro. But it was quite unlucky that the card row moved in such a way that if he doesn't act, there's just two very good cards for one CA less each. So he decides to take the EG, and I think that's probably the best play. I missed what I seeded, but yeah, let's see. Maybe it comes back to me. So there's the Uni, I naturally take it. And then I had some different thoughts, but really there's not much point building a lab since there's a way to make sure that I can finish already next turn the Uni. So I take reserves and just start building. There's obviously knights for two, but there's two copies, and so none of the other cards really made any sense to me. I just wanted to get the Carolina up and running next turn, and that was the only way to really do it without help from the deck. I draw a defense card. And also like this iron stayed on 2. It's still taken by Hippo. There's no other iron inside, so might have some edge from just getting an earlier iron. But then again, I'm not. I still have the Roman roads production, so iron maybe not the first priority anyway. So it just goes for the iron turn. Also skips the knights. So maybe in some cases the other copy is contested, but let's see how this game goes on. So for me, I didn't want to see it on set of borders, obviously, and I just do the turn. At least the first part of the turn, just play reserves, finish the wonder, then have two more actions left. Yeah, at this point I liked how this was going, and there's a couple more wonders coming down, and I think in general, Chinese style players really like Silk Road. So I was mainly just eyeing the Silk Road here. So he can't really take it. He can't take it since it's gonna be on 2 SCA range, and he hasn't started on the acro yet. So I was guaranteed to get it if I wish to get it. So it was just about how I'm gonna spend the rest of the turn. I wanted to take the other copy of reserves, already eyeing the Silk Road. Gonna be even three resources gained from that, and one more action left. I just popped. Let's see, like this. Yeah, like this. The printing press won't fall off. If I took swordsman, it might fall off, but I wasn't really going to go for printing press. Yeah, mainly the knights will stay on 2. So yeah, that's probably the reason I didn't take swordsman. I draw a call to arms. Hippo doesn't see it, just goes for the one upgrade, starts with the acro. Doesn't take knights, just finishes the acro. And so, yeah, but maybe if he skipped the iron upgrade, could have taken something like St. Pete's. Just reveals tactic and pops with the last civil action. So like this, yeah, it doesn't take knights, but the last iron will stay on 2. And he is now strongest while finishing the Acropolis. So for me, there was, the iron was on 2, so I needed to make the decision if I want the iron or not. And Silk Road also stayed in the game, so it was mainly between taking iron or Silk Road. And yes, it felt with the Silk Road, and also for now the production from Roman roads is still going on. And yeah, I just made the decision I will skip iron in this game. Just go for the Silk Road and get some more civil actions to help with the Silk Road finishing. There's also masonry coming down, but that may not be there on my turn. So definitely want to go for the code. Just taking Silk Road. Yeah, it would have been maybe nice to also get cultural heritage. But at least like this, Rec Crew will stay on 2, so might increase my chances to get an even better card. So playing without iron on Silk Road is still fine. Just yeah, I just need the civil actions to really support it. But like this, I'm gonna be producing some nice science. I haven't needed to invest in any science other than the code. So just science from wonders. Yeah, there's Saladin popping out of the deck. Yeah, Saladin would be quite strong for me. I would be on many civil actions even after Hammurabi is gone. So maybe it just doesn't want to give Saladin to me, but then again, There's also Nostradamus and other generalists that I could go for. But it also means that I will have to go for Nostradamus for 2 or maybe let Hammurabi die. So yeah, let's see how it works out. Just got for Saladin warriors and denies in part denies the masonry, but also he can use it to maybe upgrade his science or just building some wonders with the iron he has, so it's just a useful card. And like this, he lets monarchy stay on the row. And obviously I would have the option to maybe go for a revolution, but I don't think that's really the way to go. I see it call to arms actually. I suppose there was some reasoning for that. Maybe I wanted to reveal something from the deck, but I think without a tactic it's still a bit. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. I was going for Nostradamus. Yeah. So that's the reason I was going for Nostradamus, and I was hoping to just avoid it at the time it comes out. So I was eyeing some other alternatives, maybe other than just finishing the Silk Road. But if I went for Nostradamus now, I couldn't finish. Also taking Monarchy might be fine here. I will have the science next turn to go for it peacefully. But it's also very late, and I definitely would want to get an H2 government to support my no iron strategy with Silk Road. So I just felt 6 civil actions may not be that great. And just took the breakthrough. I could have gone for monarchy in that sense that Nostradamus will stay on. But I just valued the breakthrough more at this late stage. And even another defense card, so maybe I can be a bit greedier at some point in the future, even though I can't really keep all of those. So yeah, at this point I was fine with losing Hammurabi to age switching, but it was basically the same. Obviously, I could have used the civil actions last turn, but then again I couldn't have finished the Silk Road, so I just chose to let Hammurabi die and go for Nostradamus the hard way. There's some more rocks. And last iron upgrade, taking irrigation, always a strong tech in 2 players, and can even start going for it and fixes his happies. So maybe it could be an indication of rebellion or something. For now, he's fine with his happies. So I had nothing to see, but I just wanted to still take Nostradamus since I had seeded call to arms. So just take an elect. But I'm still the weakest if it's not my turn, so I still needed to get some more strength. And I could have built a warrior maybe, but that would hurt my draws also. So since I had some nice science production, I just decided to go for warfare. Just very nice with Nostradamus having the 3rd MA. And also activating Silk Road. And could also build the 2nd lab at last. Now going for 6 science production, which is insane at this stage, and even without any lab techs developed. And then I also chose to build 1 unit. So did I actually see the colony area? I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry. But it also, yeah, maybe it was just to make it a bit harder for him to beat my 6 strength, for at least for the bad strength events. Oh, yeah, I was in corruption. Yeah, I had to build it. Obvious. I draw even another colonization card and also a tactic that might be useful, or will be useful if I. Yeah, the swordsmen are gone, but maybe if I get rifles, it could be a viable strength source. Hippo seeds. There's one more HA development. Some more stuff to use. Yeah, drama drops down to 1, and there's Bach in the game. So even though he's on iron production, yeah, the drama could be quite strong for me with just on bronze. And yeah, if you get Bach, it's still fine to have drama, even though you're on iron. Might cause some corruption maybe, but yeah, just fairly nice. Even starts going for dramas. Yeah, I think it's fine. Has some resources to use. There's no imminent military pressure. And he keeps up in the culture department since at least he expects me to start seeding with Nostradamus and gain some culture and also upgrades farm. So he has a pretty nice setup, pretty low on science though, but maybe if he just finds a scientific method or something could go for that with masonry even and get some cheaper upgrades. Is weakest in terms of, yeah. Yeah, I obviously would have seeded, but there's nothing to see. But I was very happy to see this early Republic. It's just very nice having gone for the warfare and going up to 8 civil actions with Silk Road, and there's some nice yellow cards on the row. So I was happy to see this early Republic. And also, yeah, he could have gone for it even without building another urban building. So with the 4 discount, could have gone for it himself, Hippo. So at this point, I was happy it was Republic that was shown first. I can go for it myself, and then it's easier for me to maybe take away Conmon since he skipped Monarchy. It was a late Monarchy, but yeah, it it might get weird if you just can't get a government going. So Republic time. Yeah, there's Darwin coming down, but I was in no rush to pick him up yet. If there's Bach showing, that's still better. And Plunderteig has a religion, so at this point he is not in this game state ready for Darwin. So I didn't want to take Darwin yet. Just make sure he doesn't fall off. Increase population. Still have to get out of corruption, but I can actually get out of corruption by building a 3rd lab. So it could be nice if I end up with Darwin and also gets me out of corruption. Yeah, I have some unhappy workers, so remembering the turn where Hippo built the religion, there still might be the rebellion in the deck. I haven't taken a look. I just recently elected Nostradamus. So I have 2 civil actions left. I want to take some yellows. Yeah, I could have taken breakthrough 2 for 2, but that also would have dropped wave to 1 CA range. Organized religion is not the best if I end up with Darwin, but it's still manageable. It's still 2 happy faces. which might be enough. So just get a nice yellow card and some happiness solution. Sadly, I have to discard 2 of my defense cards, and I draw nothing to seed. But yeah, Nostradamus still doing some stuff. I get to look at what Hippo seed, though I haven't had time to really check what those are. But there's there's Rebellion, obviously, but at least I had time to go for the Republic before this happened, so just cutting my civil actions in half. And also there's Bach on the row, and yeah, Plunderteig being a bit better prepared for Bach, just goes for him for 3. Takes breakthrough, is low on science, so practically has to take it. And pops and builds a unit just to get out of corruption. Still doesn't elect, still likes to have the civil action. Maybe to be better prepared to get Conmon if it's on the row. So I still can't see it. Yeah, this was a bit annoying that I had some nice cards that I could take if I had more civil actions, but I still had to get out of corruption. I wanted to do it by increasing my food production while still using Silk Road this time. So after going for the one food upgrade to be able to pop next turn, I just had 1 civil action left. Yeah, at least a wave would have been very interesting strategy, probably not since I went for warfare. Maybe as a hate draft, but maybe not. Frugality would have been real nice for me. It will stay on like this, but let's see if it's still there. But looking at the leaders, I wanted to have a leader that gives culture. Could wait for maybe Napoleon since I have a tactic, but it was still unsure if I even get rifles. So just wanted to get a leader that gives culture and also makes it a bit easier to maybe control the card row. If it comes down to just denying stuff that comes out, it's just he's a beast in that trade. But I still wanted to keep Nostradamus for not being weakest. Discard the aggression and the war, and at least now I draw something to seed. Actually, those are quite nice. The tactic, if I get some nice military attacks, I could just get some nice rocks out of arms entry. I have a nice size production. And also immigration, not great for now, but maybe could be seeded later on. And also if I get the classic army online, international agreement might be a strong card. Hippo doesn't see it, takes justice system, it's a bit costly, but still improves his civilization quite much. Goes for Bach, starts upgrading his religion into the drama and goes up to 9 production in culture. But at least he's a bit restricted. Can go for another drama, but after that can't add any more dramas for now. Yeah, takes strategy as expected, and also scientific method. And yeah, he hasn't gone for masonry yet. He has could have used masonry already, saving some rocks, but at least this turn when he upgraded, he would have been in corruption if he hadn't spent 1 rock to upgrade. So maybe just there he doesn't have the most science, and maybe if there's an architecture, could be really strong for me, so maybe it wants to see if there's a way to pick up architecture rather than going for masonry. I start by seeding arms industry. I see Curryman on the row, and I can actually just take the one copy further up the row with Darwin. So I want to seed arms industry, just have a source for rocks. Yeah, this was actually, I think, one of mine. So yeah, I had seeded historic one, and I could just take it for one unit. Helps with the culture and helps with happy faces with Darwin. So here actually, yeah, there are some ways to play it. There's actually the architecture just out of the deck. I definitely wanted to elect Darwin just to save some civil actions already. But there was still at least a call to arms in the deck. I also wanted to get stronger. And it would have been obviously, or not, to not be the weakest, let's say. Let's put it like that. So with Nostradamus, it would have been obviously easier to not be weakest, but I just wanted to start saving the civil actions. And obviously there's also coal, but there's really no need to take it if I should even go for the coal. But what I really like to take is architecture, since Hippo hadn't committed to masonry yet. And I would take some cards that architecture would be on 2, so I just wanted to take it for 2 myself. So I start by doing that. Also want the Caraman. Just Hippo doesn't have a cavalry technology and won't have any until maybe tanks come out. So it's very nice for the arms industry. I see it. And the way I felt I can get stronger, I just go for the navigation. I also go for cavalryman and build one. Gets me out of corruption. Starts preparing me for the classic army. If I get rifles, it should be easier now with the Darwin. So yeah, I invest heavily into units while being just on 3 bronze. And yeah, I think the last 2 selections need to go towards this breakthrough 2, since Hippo is very low in science still. It should be the best card for me to take. So like this, I still leave a door open for coal. If I wish to go for coal, it's maybe a bit late, and yeah, let's see if I go for the coal. Draw politics of strength could be a very nice combo to put both of those events in. So Hippo, now that the architecture is gone, just goes for the masonry and just finishes Harvard. So has scientific method in hand, but couldn't go for it with the masonry at least. Like this, he can get the masonry out and start producing some more science right away. So I think I get the rationale behind that, and also a bit more culture. But yeah, can't really take the rifles, or could, but chose not to. Yeah, I had drawn both defensive army and also classic army, so the main H2 tactics that use rifles are gone. So I was very happy to see that, and with the knowledge that I get rifles, I just wanted to see it politics of strength even in the next deck. I reveal call to arms that I see it earlier. It will hurt Hippo quite a bit, just losing 2 civil actions. Maybe he has drawn something useful, maybe fortifications or something like that, but it's quite unlikely, and maybe could have just used the civil actions more. So I want to go for the rifles. And obviously there's Konman on the row, and with David just an auto pick here. Just trying to keep him out of a government form. So just taking that away. Yeah, it's the last possible instance to play this reserves 1, but it's for 3 rocks. Very strong. I developed rifles and even built one straight up, getting out of corruption once more. Then I have some spare actions. Yeah, and at this point I was able to just show the tactic. All the cavalries are gone, and rifles are gone, so it would take both modern infantry and tanks for him to start utilizing my tactic in full. So just wanted to show the tactic while it's still in H2. There's reserves, and there's also another reserves, but it would drop Rev idea to 1, so I didn't want to take it. So like this, I could still use my remaining actions just to pop, and I think that's just a very efficient use of my civil actions. So there's the coal going out, but it's very late, and getting those reserves and being on 8 civil actions, I just felt I probably have all the rocks that I need from the row and just get food produced nicely and just fix my rocks with yellow cards. Even draw one more defense card. Yeah, Hippo doesn't see it. I'm still strongest, and I have maybe it was one of my events on top, I think. So with his 3 civil actions, can't really go for the real idea. Just gets out of corruption, building the 3rd drama. So the H ends quite handily here. We can check the overall score. It's relatively even, and now my Roman roads will turn to culture, and Hippo is at least restricted by the urban building limit, and so he's going to be at 13 production, unless he can maybe go for opera or some journalism or something like that. I still produce a fine amount of science. Obviously the rocks are in Hippo's favor, but then again I have the Silk Road, and I will have some more food once I upgrade my second farm. So yeah, he has also Harvard running, but with 5 selections, not the greatest. I see the international agreement. I might have a way of just staying on top in strength. And there's actually Crusades. So yeah, I think this was my first hit, I think. Or maybe it was actually his. I have no recollection. I think it was, yeah, maybe one of his. Just didn't want to reveal it, even though he didn't get stronger this turn. So like this, there's architecture. I will develop that. And then there's journalism in 1 and multimedia also appearing on the row. So while it could be a bit more efficient, maybe go for multimedia, but it's just better for my economy just to go for journalism. So just go for the architecture, and also there's have some happy issues. No, I'm not in uprising area yet, but yeah, I still wanted to fix my happies this turn, since I couldn't go for journalism anyway. I went for the research for 4, built a temple, just getting me out of corruption. And then there's some nice cards that I want. Yeah, could have taken rich land to upgrade the last farm, but I just felt it's just better just to do it now. There's no military threat really. He's on 2 MA, so felt I can invest in those in that food upgrade now. Also, cannon will stay on 2 if I don't take. Oh yeah, he has the cannon already, so yeah, that's not part of it, but just the efficiency. Goes for strategy, pops, and starts to get some more science. So he's producing a lot of science now. Gets some corruption, but that's his whole turn. And there's actually military build-up on 3, which I was very happy to see. It's very easy for me to take. I said it an impact already. I think it was maybe a variety. At least I end up seeing it at some point. I had a nice variety, at least at this point. Yeah, just going for the journalisms and using Silk Road even more with the urban growth. And yeah, at least, yeah, this democracy just popped out. Yeah, it's not the best luck for Hippo. Yeah, the best H3 government just popping out this early. I can just take it, and probably if there's no bad developments happening in between turns, I can just go for it next turn. Yeah, played the rabbi there already. There's even another one on the row, but I felt I didn't need it. And just popped with last action. Can also pop next turn. So like this, I'm just doing stuff that I need in order to keep denying those governments if they show up. No, I drew variety just now, so it was something else that I said. Yeah, there's no new government on the row, and civil service would be an upgrade for me. I have strong science, would help me with my bronze mines, keep more stuff. Obviously not ideal with having justice system already, but maybe there was nothing too too juicy on the row other than this, so went for the civil service. And also taking Air Forces, so he's really yeah, playing against Darwin is just so hard. Like this, the Air Force was on 2, so it could be that if he doesn't take it now, I can just take it at any time for 2. So just feels the need to take it, since yeah, well, I'm not really threatening in military, but I could get threatening if I so wish. Now I will see the variety. And yeah, this was one of mine, and I just reveal a very strong event. Draw some more defense cards, and even impact of agriculture could be playable. Just go for the demo. Upgrade a warrior just to get out of corruption, and then I just take cards. And even, yeah, he could have taken movies last turn. Didn't do it. So now the first copy will be gone, and I just take this second copy for 2, limiting his options unless he gets a new government to up his culture production. So this turn I just upgraded one warrior just to get out of corruption, and then took cards. Reserves obviously very useful for me. Also the urban growth. While having seed variety, I probably will just add a movie next turn. Like this, I'm skipping Rev idea, but I still have enough science to go for the Air Force or something next turn. Draw some more defense cards and impact of balance. That might be unseatable with bronze. So Hippo seeds, and there's it. Even the international agreement coming out. That was one of my events too. Now this froze. Let's see. No, it's not this turn. It's still one more turn backwards. So yeah, let's just rewind it like this. So international agreement was revealed, and yeah, he seeded and went for oil. So that was a pretty clear signal that maybe it was just the impact of the industry, which is obviously strong versus bronze. Just went for the oil, taking Rabadi and also dispelling some warriors and revealing a tactic since he didn't draw anything anyway with the politics of strength. So just prepared to maybe build some cannons next turn or keep at least some military pressure maybe on. So I didn't see it, I just took the cards. Yeah, there was fundamentalism on the row, just popping out. So I just wanted to take a couple of reserves and also just use the civil actions already to deny the fundamentalism. Yeah, having done that, I felt even a lot safer. So I decided to invest in movies. And also played the reserves that I took, popped and built another library just to have 12 science for possible efforts. Even though a war from him, I suppose it could happen. Would really need military theory or something, and couldn't go for all of those Air Force, cannon, and military theory, but just wanted to be absolutely safe and just make sure I have 12 science next time. And just to be sure, I just took patriotism. At first, I just wanted to be even safer, but it actually is maybe a bit threatening also versus Hippo. If I had a war, I could just take Air Force and play the patriotism and go for one tactic with the one classic army with Air Force, so it's at least something. But at the time I played, I just took it for just to be safe, mainly. But yeah, since Hippo then just goes for Gandhi, yeah, there's still no communism on the road, so he's had a pretty rough age 3. Built some iron, so now it's very clear that the impact of industry is in. And can actually take one efficient upgrade and go for one more upgrade. So like this, he had at least to spend four guard leads just to prevent any war possibility. Not that he has much trouble defending, but maybe it would be a bit annoying since he doesn't have the most population. This arms industry just in the right time. It's a huge boost for me. 4 rocks in this scenario is just huge. Yeah, it's very late, but I just see that impact of government, so just wanted to make sure he doesn't get any more civil actions or military actions. Even though it would be a bit hard for him to deal with the unhappy face. But it's just very cheap to deny, and it just makes sure that I can score pretty heavily on the impact of government. And then it's actually quite nice. I can just pop to get one unhappy worker, just go for Mandela. Then I get one happy face back instantly, and just can get out of corruption by building a temple and increasing my culture income to the same level I had with Darwin, five extra, and just getting another selection for the last turn. Since there's actually fast food chains and Empire State in the deck, I can go for either one. Actually, if I take some cards, and then if I take Engineering Genius, I will be ready for either one. So I will end the turn with 7 rocks, but with the reserves I will be up to 12, and could even finish the Empire State just, and also if there's fast food it's even cheaper, so yeah, I can still finish it since I will be on 12 rocks plus the EG. And depending on which part of the row those wonders end up, yeah, it's gonna be a bit tough for Hippo to choose which one to take, since for now I have science and food, culture and strength, and yeah, I'm fine with either of those wonders, and maybe Hippo just doesn't have much use for the Empire State, since its own population can't really doesn't want to disband any of those oils until the industry is revealed. So it's a bit hard for him to fix all of those departments. And just taking urban growth, maybe I don't have the civil action to use it, but it might be useful. And also with this, it doesn't. I just take the cards that I need and don't take any more cards from non-discard spot. And yeah, it's perfect. Actually draw impact of happiness. He has some trouble with his happies, and I just went for Mandela anyway, and sort of forced to build those happy faces to max out the happy face count. So it, once succeeded on the last politics action, it's yeah, it's always possible that it's in there, but at least it doesn't give it away. Yeah, there's actually fast food on 3 selection range and Empire State on the 2 range. So like this, it's not the biggest fast food, but yeah, since I could just take the fast food and finish it very easily. He just decides to take it for himself. And also builds the temple. But yeah, just missing out on all those governments just made his game pretty bad. Or pretty hard in the end. At least let's Empire State just stay on 2, but it doesn't really make a difference. As it happiness. Yeah, actually this was not ideal that it came out now. Now he can just, if he wishes to, just wreck some of those oils to put somewhere else, maybe fix his happy, so not the optimal order of impacts, but yeah. So for me, the strongest way is just to take Empire, play the reserves, finish it for 28 points. And since I had seeded the impact of government, just use the last 2 actions to go for the military theory as well. And I copy fighting band just to be a bit stronger. So it just builds a couple temples, fixing his habits. Maybe it sees that impact of happiness might be in there. It might be in there anyway. Plays endowment and just finishes the fast food for 21, which is not bad. But let's see how it is before the final impacts. Yeah, it's 30 something lead. This variety is +6 for me. Happiness is +4. Since I built those regions. Wonders, yeah, that was actually the first one I see was Wonders. It's even +5, and then there's, yeah, these were from me, I think all of them. And that's a strong one for me too. So even a 50-point win. So I was really happy about this result against a very, very, very strong player. I felt I played quite well. I obviously was lucky with the governments coming out one by one, even though had they come out in bunches, I could have maybe still, with Darwin, denied them if I wish. So I was able to keep Hippo in just 3 dramas, which was huge. And also he ran out of population. And it was just a strong start for me, just using my first five or so turns, just building wonders and taking reserves or resources from the row. And it set up quite nicely with the early Republic, just taking some nice yellows and just be fine with the rocks, even though I just wasn't bronze. So a pretty clean game. I felt it was still a bit stressful towards the end, since even though he was on 3 dramas, he was still matching my culture production for most part of the game. But at the end, it was just too much. Even with having the industry play in hand, I just had some strong impacts all around and was able to just play those and just be safe and get more culture. So with this result, it was one step closer to maybe reaching the finals, but I won't give out any spoilers here. So if you wish to know how this group finished, just go out to CG Web or Discord to find out. And for now, I just thank you for watching, and let's see if I can post some more videos at some point. Bye bye.